With these can-do videos, you'll see real-life situations where you have to introduce yourself, talk about your family, or give your contact information. So, by the end, you can do them yourself in French. This video is a small portion of our can-do course. To get the full course, including translations, grammar tools, and assessment tests, click the link in the description. Welcome to Can Do French by FrenchPod101.com.
Bonjour à tous, je suis Léa Mercier. Hi everyone, I'm Léa Mercier. In this lesson, you'll learn how to order at a restaurant.
This is Mark Lee, and he's at a restaurant with his wife. Mark says to the waiter, "Excuse me, a bottle of water, please."
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Listen to the conversation, and focus on Mark's request. Ready?
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, immédiatement.
Once more with the English translation.
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Excuse me, a bottle of water, please.
Oui, immédiatement.
Yes, immediately. Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool, so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Mark asks for a bottle of water? Excuse me, a bottle of water, please.
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Let's start with,
Excusez-moi,
excuse me.
excusez-moi,
First is,
excusez,
excuse.
excusez, excusez,
Next is the word,
moi,
meaning me.
moi, moi,
Together,
excusez-moi,
excuse me.
excusez-moi,
Here, Mark is using the expression to get someone's attention. He uses the formal form since he's speaking with someone he doesn't know. Note, this expression can also be used as a mild apology, but here Mark uses it to get the attention of the waiter who is nearby. Next is,
une bouteille d'eau,
meaning a bottle of water.
une bouteille d'eau,
Let's start with the word
bouteille,
bottle.
bouteille, bouteille,
In French, all nouns have grammatical gender and are either singular or plural.
bouteille,
Is feminine and singular, a fact which will determine the form of other words in the sentence. Before this is
une,
a. Think of this like the English a, as in a bottle.
une, une, une,
Is also feminine and singular to agree with.
bouteille,
Next is
d'eau,
of water.
d'eau, d'eau,
Is a contraction of
de,
of and
eau,
water.
de,
Of.
de, eau,
Water.
eau, eau,
Together it's
une bouteille d'eau,
a bottle of water.
une bouteille d'eau,
Last is
s'il vous plaît,
please.
s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît,
Altogether it's
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau s'il vous plaît.
Excuse me, a bottle of water, please.
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember the waiter's response? Yes, immediately.
Oui, immédiatement.
First is the expression,
Oui,
yes.
oui. Oui,
Next is,
immédiatement.
literally, immediately.
Immédiatement. Immédiatement.
Altogether, it's,
Oui, immédiatement.
literally, yes, immediately. But in more natural English, yes, right away.
Oui, immédiatement.
Note, in place of,
Oui, immédiatement.
you may hear,
Oui, tout de suite.
yes, right away.
Oui, tout de suite.
The pattern is,
Excusez-moi. Item, s'il vous plaît.
excuse me, item, please.
Excusez-moi. Item, s'il vous plaît.
Make sure to include the appropriate article before the noun. To use this pattern, simply replace the item placeholder with the object you're asking for. Imagine you'd like to ask for the menu.
La carte. La carte. Carte.
Menu.
Carte. Carte. Carte.
Is feminine and singular. Before this is
La.
the.
La. La.
Is feminine singular to agree with.
Carte.
Together it's
La carte.
the menu.
La carte.
Say, excuse me, the menu, please. Ready?
Excusez-moi, la carte s'il vous plaît.
Excuse me, the menu, please.
Excusez-moi, la carte s'il vous plaît.
To use the pattern with a specific item, you'll need to know the number and gender of the thing you are asking for, and also whether you are specifically referring to something.
The conversation introduces.
Une.
Think of it like the English a or an, as in,
Une bouteille d'eau.
a bottle of water. It doesn't refer to anything specifically. Here,
Une
agrees with the feminine singular noun.
bouteille.
However, there is another form of this article. For a masculine singular noun, like
Thé.
tea, use
Un thé.
a tea.
Un thé.
When specifically referring to something, use the definite article. It's like the in English. The pattern section introduces.
La.
Think of it like the English the, as in,
La carte.
the menu. It refers to something specifically. Here,
La
agrees with the feminine singular noun.
carte.
However, there is another form of this article.
La carte.
For a masculine singular noun, like
Dessert.
dessert, use
Le dessert.
the dessert.
Le dessert.
For both masculine, singular, and feminine, singular nouns starting with a vowel, and often H, use
Le.
masculine,
L'apéritif.
the appetizer,
L'apéritif.
feminine,
L'addition.
the check.
L'addition.
Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Excusez-moi, la carte, s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, la carte, s'il vous plaît.
Excusez-moi, un thé s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, un thé s'il vous plaît.
Excusez-moi, l'addition, s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, l'addition, s'il vous plaît.
Excusez-moi, ceci s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, ceci s'il vous plaît. Did you notice how I used a slightly different pattern?
Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool, so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can-Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
Excusez-moi, ceci s'il vous plaît.
Excuse me, this one please. The item placeholder is replaced by the word,
Ceci.
literally this, but translates as this one in this context.
Ceci. Ceci.
This pattern can be used when you're not sure how to pronounce something written in the menu. Simply point on the card and say,
Excusez-moi, ceci s'il vous plaît.
let's review the key vocabulary.
Carte.
Menu,
Carte. Carte. Thé.
tea,
Thé. Thé. Addition.
check,
Addition. Addition. Ceci.
this,
Ceci. Ceci.
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then, repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say please? S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. And how to say bottle of water? Bouteille d'eau. Bouteille d'eau. Do you remember how to say a bottle of water? Une bouteille d'eau. Une bouteille d'eau. Do you remember how Mark says, "Excuse me, a bottle of water, please"?
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Excusez-moi, une bouteille d'eau, s'il vous plaît. Do you remember how to say immediately? Immédiatement. Immédiatement. And how to say yes? Oui. Oui. Do you remember how the waiter says, "Yes, immediately"?
Oui, immédiatement.
Oui, immédiatement. Do you remember how to say menu? carte, carte. And how to say the menu. La carte, la carte. Do you remember how to say tea? Thé, thé. And how to say a tea? Un thé, un thé. Do you remember how to say check? Addition, addition. And how to say the check? L'addition, l'addition.
Let's practice. Imagine you're Karen Lee, and you're at a restaurant. Get the waiter's attention and ask for a menu. Ready?
Excusez-moi, la carte s'il vous plaît.
Oui, immédiatement.
Listen again and repeat.
Excusez-moi, la carte s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, la carte s'il vous plaît.
Let's try another. Imagine you're thirsty. Ask for a tea. Ready?
Excusez-moi, un thé s'il vous plaît.
Oui, immédiatement.
Listen again and repeat.
Excusez-moi, un thé s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, un thé s'il vous plaît.
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Mark Lee, and you'd like to have the check. Ready?
Excusez-moi, l'addition s'il vous plaît.
Oui, immédiatement.
Listen again and repeat.
Excusez-moi, l'addition s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, l'addition s'il vous plaît.
This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to order at a restaurant in French. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.